Here it is. All right, here we go.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of StreamGeeks Live, the show where we talk about one thing and one thing only: live streaming. A high-definition broadcast brought to you by your hosts, the StreamGeeks, Paul Richards and Tess Protesto. Available via video on Facebook and YouTube Live, plus via audio on our podcast cast channels on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. StreamGeeks, the tech geek source for the latest in live streaming and video production. Let's get started.
Hello, everybody. We are back with a live episode.
This is StreamGeeks, and I'm Tess Protesta.
And I'm Paul Richards. Thank you for joining live. And if you're listening on the podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back, episode 5. Today we're going to talk about using recorded content during your live show, which is something that we actually tried to do a couple weeks ago and failed horribly. So we're going to look at that giant failure and then hopefully learn a little bit along the process.
Yeah, we took a little break. It's the summer, so we've been having some fun, but we are back and ready for action. Again, we are going to be discussing a transition from recorded content to live content and how, even established bloggers and producers might think about going about doing that.
Behind the scenes cam. So, and I think it was a great idea, and this is something Tess was talking about, because specifically with beauty blogging and makeup blogging, there's so much setup process in that video that it's better possibly to have like some video production there, some editing, some slow motion, some this and that, to really get it perfect so that people stay interested, right?
Yeah, and from everything we know about live streaming and how it is growing, and it is a great way to attain more views. What were the stats that we talked about last time?
Yeah, we talked about like something around the neighborhood of, Facebook says that basically live video versus recorded video gets about 3 times as many views and like watch time per person.
So we basically know that if you are beginning to live stream and you have a plan and a strategy and you're doing it well, it is going to be more beneficial for you and your business and brand than just putting out recorded content.
Yes.
And that's why so many established content creators are, starting to think about going live.
Yeah, making that transition. And I think some of like the people I follow who are doing really well with it are all about the user engagement, answering the Q&A. And so they're using it for what it was really meant for, which is being there live with your audience so you can answer questions and everything. But we're going to talk about even a step further, and why not take pieces of your best videos and take people places you can't take them live with recorded video.
Yeah. Something that we're doing tomorrow in one of our shows is going to integrate well with today's topic. We are going to pick some highlights from some of our best shows, which is recorded content, and we're going to share it on our live stream and discuss those moments. And that's a great way to integrate recorded content into your live streams.
Yeah, that was something I wasn't even considering until we already have a catalog of, 10 or 20 or 30 episodes. Now you can go back and say, let's take pieces of all of those and answer questions and meld them into a new thing. So you can take old and repurpose, or you can just take pieces if you have commercials or video clips or all those things and take them in. Like, I think your example was the best one, where there's certain things like you can't necessarily do in an hour-long show, but you could record it all up front, chop it up, splice it up, however you do, turn it into a nice package, play it, but then be there live as a voiceover and a live...
Yeah, that's sort of my thinking with successful tutorial bloggers on YouTube, for example. Maybe they are able to show clips from the important parts of whatever the tutorial is, be engaging users, or viewers, should I say, the entire time, answering questions, and basically being able to show the meaty, juicy part that your viewers really are interested in seeing.
Yeah. And a lot of people from YouTube will tell you, if you've got this amazing thing that you want to show everybody, but it's only 30 seconds, then they'll say, just post a video that's just that bullet, going through the glass and exploding. That's the part people want. Then show them that. And so there's no reason why you can't create a live stream and take that piece, have it as the central point, but have a pre-show and an outro, and for the people that want more, there's more. But then when your live show's done, you can actually just take small chunks of your live stream and make them individual videos as well. So it's almost like you can do everything.
Yeah,
with live.
So with the recorded aspect of live streaming, you can easily record your live stream, and then there you have your recording.
Yeah.
I mean, you still will have that recording for repurposing. You're getting the best of both worlds. And you can also, a lot of people spend so much time editing their recorded content before they even post it. You can do just as much, if not more, in the way of special effects, titles, anything like that. You can do that with live streams as well, using a streaming software or hardware. And that's something we should dive into a little bit for people who might be very new to live streaming.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, I think sometimes there may be some people who don't realize that even though you're live streaming, it is being recorded. So, that's one of those like kind of awesome double benefits. And there was a time, and I think still to this day, where I basically rely on Facebook and YouTube to record our content. And if we're live streaming a lot of 1080p content, that can add up very fast on your hard drive. It could be expensive to keep yourself, yet YouTube and Facebook are going to store it for free for us.
Yep. That's definitely a really good
and
point.
You can still download it later. They're keeping it. They're basically a free video storage company, which is awesome.
Yeah, and also sometimes, and we often do this, and this is sort of a little secret, workaround for us. We often post recorded videos that have never been live streamed.
Yes.
But we used our streaming software to record them.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have somebody there switching between shots for you and switching between cameras for you, putting in the overlays, images, and music that you want to be played, that saves you hours and hours of editing time.
Oh my gosh! I'm glad you mentioned
it
that.
literally takes the amount of time it took to create that video, and then you go ahead, publish it, and you're done.
Yep. Now, I can understand people who are really happy with the way that their vlogging experience works, or sitting down with a cup of coffee or whatever you do in the afternoon, and you sit down, you put your headphones on, and you just make your video with all the recorded video later.
Right.
Because you have all that control. Now, when you do go to live video, when you create that video, if you're looking for that benefit, which is what we do, you do need to perform. You do need to, if you want a 5-minute video, you need to cut that video in 5 minutes and boom, it's done. But like Tess was saying, like if I'm here doing my thing with the video and exactly what I want, which sometimes I don't know fully what is going to happen. Like I have an idea of what it's going to be, but a lot of it's free form, a lot of it's...
You have to be kind of good at the ad-lib, off the cuff, unscripted type of situation.
And it's nice to have a couple different cameras, because then Tess is kind of in producer mode, right? So you're like, all right, judging by what Paul is on the camera trying to convey, I'll switch to this camera when this is in his hands or something like that. So it's almost like you have two brains working on one stream.
Exactly, which is why it's really great to have a partner in this. Some of the streaming softwares that we like to use, vMix, XSplit, OBS is a great free one. Wirecast works with Mac. So there's some great ones that you might want to look into if you're interested in getting a streaming software that allows you to create a professional production, via your computer. Also, NewTek TriCaster is a hardware piece if you're more interested in a physical piece of equipment.
And I've been kind of talking about the value. Everyone knows also the value of video, like in general. Like if there's a video on a page, oh gosh.
Yeah, if you Google ways to, grow your brand, and they're going to say video, and they're going to say live video at this point.
Yes, they really will. So, we're probably preaching to the choir here, but there are some very basic techniques. Like one of the things I was going to mention is before you and I worked together, I actually worked alone a lot of the time. So what I would do is I would actually have keyboard and mouse in front of me. Usually I would do just one camera, and multiple cameras is just so nice. And right now, Tess and I really aren't doing anything. For those of you watching on YouTube and Facebook, it's just on an automated loop.
Yep.
Where we can just set up fades and camera switching all by itself. So that is very nice because we just want to really talk about the conversation and have our experience. But back in the day when it was just me, I would literally, what I would do is I would set up a screen in front of me. So even though it looked like I was looking at the camera, I was actually looking at the video production software.
Controlling the whole production.
And what Casey Neistat does, which is kind of interesting, is he wears sunglasses all the time. So you don't know it, but he's actually looking off camera at the little flip screen on behind his digital SLE. That's what he explained in one of his videos. Now he just always wears sunglasses everywhere.
Right, because it's part of his character.
It's like his character. But when he's got his camera in front of him, he's normally looking at the screen on the side so that he can see, how it's framed up, but he's not looking at the camera, so it would look weird if he was always like on the side.
That's funny.
So in live streaming and video production, if you set it up right and you have a screen in front of you and you have the camera like right above it or right below it, normally it looks almost as if you're looking directly at the camera, and you can actually produce the whole thing yourself. That takes a lot of skill and effort.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. But, you can also, record your whole content, edit it the way that you are used to and the way that you prefer to, and still find value in live streaming in the way of just being there, present when your, video recorded content goes out, to answer questions live, to engage with your audience while they're viewing your video. It's very beneficial for you.
And Daniel writes saying he loves the new tally lights. He can see them change in some of the shots. That is something in this scenario where the cameras are constantly moving. You'll see Tess look right at a camera because she knows right above it, there's a light on. So I know this camera right here is live in front of us. In fact, it's not even lined up properly, but so those are sweet. The tally lights, they're little lights that show you which camera's live, and you'll see them in the high-end video studios and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's also a good way if you don't have a bunch of different cameramen, signaling you where to look and stuff like that to control.
All about
what
these
camera
little. There's a lot of little teeny tips that we will definitely be dropping along the way, and that's definitely one of the
Should
cool
we
ones.
Jump into our agenda?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we can start off with the live video moment of last week, should I say.
Here we go.
Live video moment of the week.
So the live video, and I said last week, is because we tried to do this exact topic last week. It didn't work out, but we're repurposing the agenda for this week. So the live video moment of this week is going to be the WAN show. Now, this is one that Paul picked out.
Yes.
And, if you're a tech junkie, this is definitely a live show that you might want to check out. You have a clip that you're going to be pulling up of that, but they basically talk about fun, new, innovative tech that's out there. Do they do reviews as well?
They do.
If you want to find out what's new and popping in the tech world, these are definitely some guys that you want to check out.
I gotta enable my keyboard. Yeah, these guys do tech reviews all the time, and it's funny because they have millions of subscribers, but still to this day, a lot of people wouldn't know.
Trident.
A little ad
Bursting
playing.
with more flavor.
Turn that off. But here's just a clip. They'll just do, testing out the new Apple thing or testing out a new video card or something like that. And it's something two guys I've ended up following quite a bit, and they do one camera usually. I can't believe all of these big time guys are one camera.
A lot of vloggers just have a single portrait shot. That's just what they're used to and what they're comfortable with, and also it's probably a budgetary thing.
Yeah.
But, also from a production standpoint, I do think that they use overlays and stuff like that. So that's definitely a good one to get some inspiration for and see how other people are using live content.
And you will see, if you think about it, and when you start thinking about things the way we are now, you will think, oh, look, they just played a video clip that was obviously pre-recorded. So if you start watching these things and looking at it from behind the scenes, you start thinking about, even like CNN sometimes I'll watch, like, oh, look, see, they've got one guy on Skype coming in, and they've got the real guy there, and then they've got their lower thirds, and you start thinking about how it's all set up. It's honestly, a lot of these shows are done with the same software that you can buy and put on any computer at this point.
Yeah, for those of you who are new to live streaming and live streaming softwares, the way that you would pull in a video clip to play on your live show, you'd simply pull it in as like an MP4. And, it's hard to explain, but there's a bunch of different inputs on live streaming.
We can try to show it on the behind the scenes camera. I'll stop it on this computer.
Basically, you pull in a bunch of different files from your computer that you are able to trigger to go live with at any time.
So I know this is in the corner, and for those of you watching on the podcast, I'll just try to explain this. Or listening on the podcast. Hopefully you're watching something exciting. But you can just videos, cameras, IP streams, PowerPoints, images, photos, lower thirds. Those are all possible things that you can pull in. And, we're stressing the value of short video clips, but there's a million different things that create a full live stream.
Yeah, definitely. So the next topic we have for today is the branding quote of the week.
Cool.
So this week's quote, was it from the New Text blog? New Text blog? Okay, it is Alan Tepper, an author from New Tech. It says, live broadcasts also allow for true instant interaction with the audience, not the delayed but implied instant. Basically, it goes on to blah, blah, blah. But the point there is that you are there, present, being transparent, authentic reactions for your audience members. You're able to basically give answers direct from the source before things get filtered through, misconstrued.
Yes. Misconstrued. It's a lot about the excitement, and it's a lot about the the authenticity and
show your personality a little bit.
Show your personality.
There's a bunch you can do with that.
There's so much, but I think that does show. I think the real time, like it's almost like being like a real person with another real viewer. Like that's one of the things I think the connect that I've been learning a lot with social media and some of the not that we have these huge YouTube channels, but like we have 5,000 people almost on our YouTube channel and a bunch of people in our Facebook user group. I always have to kind of pinch myself for myself. Like, these are real people, and they leave real comments, and I read them all, so I know that these are real people. So it's like when you go live and there's 50 people watching, that's 50 people from all around the world
that are like taking their time, their precious time to hang out with you and watch your content, which is really cool, and it's extremely valuable for building your community.
Yes.
You can ask things of them while live, and I don't know.
So that's something we're learning about. Like, let's remind everyone to join the Facebook user group. And it's like every time you do that, boop, you see a little Facebook notification like right after. Oh, someone just joined. So these are real people, and you can create real connections with them. And doing it real time just makes the most sense.
Basically, okay, the random tech fact is the next thing on the agenda, and we completely squashed this, covered this already. It was the fact that you can combine pre-recorded content into your live streams using an MP4 input via your streaming service.
I guess the thing I'll mention about that is that basically we decided one of the reasons why we decided to do this show was because Tess was going to be live streaming a big concert in Texas, and I was going to be here, and we were like, well, why don't we just pre-record the show? We'll make it about pre-recording a show, and then there'll be this big reveal where, oh, look, Tess isn't really here. You thought she was, and that was supposed to be really cool. The problem is that when I recorded it, there was, and don't even ask me how, a beep, beep, beep every like 2 minutes. And so I literally turned on the show, pressed play, started streaming. I went for a walk. I came back 20 minutes later, and in the chat room, everyone's like, what is with this beep, beep, beep sound?
Oh my gosh, I didn't hear this part of the story.
What's going on? Like, why is there a beep? And so I come back, because I'm like everything's streaming. I'm streaming to YouTube, I'm streaming to Facebook, it all looks fine, but I'm not listening to it.
Right.
And so
there's
obviously,
a lesson learned too.
Yeah, so if you're going to you're planning to record a show, and you pre-recorded it, listen to it.
Before you go live with it. But that's also the thing with live
happens.
Streaming. I mean, it's unpredictable, and things come up.
And then Daniel Wright was just mentioning, because he was there during the show, and he was mentioning that are you guys real? Or something along the lines of like, is this really happening? Or
They're not sure.
are you live or is this recorded? So it's something that you probably don't want to pre-record an entire show. That was something, again, we're always experimental
We
here,
are always
trying
experimenting.
different things, and we were like, let's do it. But that one actually flopped on us,
Yeah.
on me.
That
You
was the
were having
first
a great
one.
time in Texas.
I know. I was like, he's on his own. Shall we move on to the super
Okay,
tool?
super tool.
Do you have a clip for the super tool?
I do. I'll put it here, and then we'll play the clip. So here's this. Let's see if I can
It's
actually...
not stable.
It's unstable tool here. I will play the clip and then we will let everyone know what the super tool really is all about.
It's normally more stable than this.
And now it's time for the super tool of the week.
All right, there we go. So this tool is not something that you can buy.
I thought you were going to say again, it's not stable. Hold on to it. It's going to like
All
fall
right.
and crash our computers.
Well, how do you even use this thing if it's so unstable?
It's normally not this unstable, I have
Has it
to
been
say.
kind of like, has it been like knocked around a little since it's been here?
It must have been or
Woo!
something because
That's lighting up like the 4th of
now
July.
it's something that you can buy technically.
You can buy this.
But
I forgot.
my
Yes, you
version
can.
is homemade. This
That's
is
what it is,
my DIY homemade Diva ring light.
Yes.
And for those of you not familiar with the Diva ring light, it's used primarily in, portrait blogging, vlogging situations, often in beauty blogger tutorials. It's this ring light that's hollow through the center with LED lights, basically around a reef, and in my case it's literally tethered to a reef, and allows you to put a camera in the center of it that just sort of illuminates your whole face, eliminates any shadows, and gives you this bright, fun, pretty glow, which is why it's often used in beauty blogs. It's a really good all-in-one solution for lighting in a small space in a portrait situation. The one I made, I had my husband cut PVC pipes to hold it up on the sides. I then zip tied a reef, that I got from AC Moore, an empty reef that you would make your own. And then I bought these rope LED lights, which I wrapped around the wreath and zip tied it. And it works just as good, and it's like $100 cheaper.
Wow.
So that's my super tool for this week. You can make this yourself if you're looking for sort of an all-in-one lighting solution if you have a really small space like I do at home that I like to make videos in.
Yes, and I'm so glad that I believe the stream is all good because this light is known to like shut down streams halfway through.
I know. It's normally much more sturdy.
I was gonna show a clip, but I never ended up doing it, which was this basically during Thompson's Claire's show. As soon as you whip this thing out on the Streaming Idiot show, it basically shut down the stream.
It was that bad because I was like really excited to show this off.
And then, we've tried to record this show twice now.
And every time.
The
I wonder
first
what's gonna
show,
happen during
so
this one.
this show, the very first time when we had the idea to pre-record it, we did the whole show, and I looked down, and the record button was never pressed.
This is the third time we're recording
This
this
is the-
topic
I-
on Stream
this is
Geeks.
the
We'll be
third
honest
time.
about it. This is real life right now.
So time number 2 was all recorded just right, but there was beeping in the background. And
I
now
wonder what it'll be this time.
number 3, number
Is it not meant to
3.
be this time?
Here we are on a Tuesday. We're supposed to be live streaming normally on Mondays. Probably something that we might be changing soon, but all right, we did it. I think that we successfully have showed off the Diva homemade DIY Diva ring light. Wow.
And you can find articles on how to make this product online if you just Google DIY Diva ring light.
Safely without the stream going down or the building lighting up on fire. I'm just kidding, but
No, I
yeah, it's
have a
quite
tendency to almost do that too.
whew. So that is something that we've been wanting to show for so long, and it's just been like a devious diva ring light.
Devious diva.
So a couple things that I'll just throw out there, and it's just kind of a casual show. We do have a Facebook user group. that we're going to be promoting more and more. One of the things that if you're out there and you're trying to learn about live streaming, you're probably thinking about creating a YouTube or a Facebook channel. One of the things we're in right now, the mode that we're in is have fun, create content, make mistakes, and be authentic and learn and low pressure. And
especially with StreamGeeks.
Hang out.
We want to share our experiences, good and bad, with the audience. Hopefully get some feedback from them. So feel free to join us on Facebook. We are StreamGeeks everywhere. So if you go on Instagram, type in StreamGeeks, you'll find us. Facebook, StreamGeeks, you'll find us. Our website is streamgeeks.us, as in Paul and I, not as in United States.
Not as in the United States,
but
but
technically
as in us, as in the whole community.
Yes, exactly. We want you to be part of our community, so you can find our group at facebook.com/groups/StreamGeeks.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about creating a live show, like we're doing now, it's the cursed vanity light.
The cursed vanity light.
Good thing we got that out of there, because that's what someone's saying in the chat here, Daniel. But I think if you're thinking about starting a live show, one of the things, I think even Laura's latest email was about, you go live, you spend all this work, and then crickets. No one's there to watch it. So that's something that you just have to realize is going to happen.
Especially in the beginning.
And what you can do is low stress, make some shows like we're doing here, try your best. And then if you can, boost them out to people, the audiences that you think might be interested, and just realize that it's a slow, organic process. There's no, way to beat the system. And
do as much learning as you can. Things like this. If you're listening to this podcast or watching, you're probably trying to learn some things about live streaming. It's a great way to, figure out really what it takes and sort of how to, start your workflow. And we hope that this was helpful in that. And feel free to ask us any questions on Facebook if you're trying to start a live stream. Either of us would be happy to help give you some advice or pointers.
Yep, that's what we're here for. That's what the user group is here for. There's a couple other really great Facebook groups that I'll throw out there. Streaming Idiots is one for the super techie people out there. Like, we will ask some crazy technical questions and get answers in minutes.
Definitely.
Which is insane. And then our PTZ Optics group is mainly focused on the PTZ cameras, which are more for higher end, I would say, bigger things. Maybe, you're not starting out that way. But it's still a fun little community, and we do some fun stuff. And then there's Live Streaming Pros group, which is, I think, very good for, beginners.
Yep, very good for beginners and for marketing questions about how to grow your live show.
So there's a lot of great stuff out there. There's no lack of information in this world we live in today. So get out there and have fun, and I hope you enjoyed this fun episode.
We will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, and we have a cool outro. That is
cool outro, cue.
Cue the cool outro. Come on.
I love the peachy.
Thanks for watching, everybody.